Day 363. Zechariah 9-12. This is the burden of the word of the Lord against the land of Hadrach and Damascus, its resting place, for the eyes of men and of all the tribes of Israel are upon the Lord, and also against Hamath, which borders it, as well as Tyre and Sidon, though they are very shrewd. Tyre has built herself a fortress, she has heaped up silver like dust, and gold like the dirt of the streets. Behold, the Lord will impoverish her and cast her wealth into the sea, and she will be consumed by fire. Ashkelon will see and fear, Gaza will writhe in agony, as will Ekron, for her hope will wither. There will cease to be a king in Gaza, and Ashkelon will be uninhabited. A mixed race will occupy Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. I will remove the blood from their mouths and the abominations from between their teeth. Then they too will become a remnant for our God, they will become like a clan in Judah, and Ekron will be like the Jebusites. But I will camp around my house because of an army, because of those who march to and fro, and never again will an oppressor overrun my people, for now I keep watch with my own eyes. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout in triumph, O daughter of Jerusalem. See, your king comes to you, righteous and victorious, humble and riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey. And I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim and the horse from Jerusalem, and the bow of war will be broken. Then he will proclaim peace to the nations. His dominion will extend from sea to sea, and from the Euphrates to the ends of the earth. As for you, because of the blood of my covenant, I will release your prisoners from the waterless pit. Return to your stronghold, O prisoners of hope, even today I declare that I will restore to you double. For I will bend Judah as my bow and fit it with Ephraim. I will rouse your sons, O Zion, against the sons of Greece. I will make you like the sword of a mighty man. Then the Lord will appear over them, and his arrow will go forth like lightning. The Lord God will sound the ram's horn and advance in the whirlwinds of the south. The Lord of hosts will shield them. They will destroy and conquer with slingstones, they will drink and roar as with wine. And they will be filled like sprinkling bowls, drenched like the corners of the altar. On that day the Lord their God will save them as the flock of his people, for like jewels in a crown they will sparkle over his land. How lovely they will be, and how beautiful! Grain will make the young men flourish, and new wine, the young women. Ask the Lord for rain in springtime, the Lord makes the storm clouds, and he will give everyone showers of rain and crops in the field. For idols speak deceit and diviners see illusions, they tell false dreams and offer empty comfort. Therefore the people wander like sheep, oppressed for lack of a shepherd. My anger burns against the shepherds, and I will punish the leaders. For the Lord of hosts attends to his flock, the house of Judah, he will make them like his royal steed in battle. The cornerstone will come from Judah, the tent peg from him, as well as the battle bow and every ruler together. They will be like mighty men in battle, trampling the enemy in the mire of the streets. They will fight because the Lord is with them, and they will put the horsemen to shame. I will strengthen the house of Judah and save the house of Joseph. I will restore them because I have compassion on them, and they will be as though I had not rejected them. For I am the Lord their God, and I will answer them. Ephraim will be like a mighty man, and their hearts will be glad as with wine. Their children will see it and be joyful, their hearts will rejoice in the Lord. I will whistle for them to gather, for I have redeemed them, and they will be as numerous as they once were. Though I sow them among the nations, they will remember me in distant lands, they and their children will live and return. I will bring them back from Egypt and gather them from Assyria. I will bring them to Gilead and Lebanon until no more room is found for them. They will pass through the sea of distress and strike the waves of the sea, all the depths of the Nile will dry up. The pride of Assyria will be brought down, and the scepter of Egypt will depart. I will strengthen them in the Lord, and in his name they will walk, declares the Lord. Open your doors, O Lebanon, that the fire may consume your cedars. Wail, O Cyprus, for the cedar has fallen, the majestic trees are ruined. Wail, O oaks of Bashan, for the dense forest has been cut down. Listen to the wailing of the shepherds, for their glory is in ruins. Listen to the roaring of the young lions, for the thickets of the Jordan are destroyed. This is what the Lord my God says, pasture the flock marked for slaughter, whose buyers slaughter them without remorse. Those who sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. Even their own shepherds have no compassion on them. For I will no longer have compassion on the people of the land, declares the Lord, but behold, I will cause each man to fall into the hands of his neighbor and his king, who will devastate the land, and I will not deliver it from their hands. So I pastured the flock marked for slaughter, especially the afflicted of the flock. Then I took for myself 2 staffs, calling one favor and the other union, and I pastured the flock. And in 1 month I dismissed 3 shepherds. My soul grew impatient with the flock, and their souls also detested me. Then I said, I will no longer shepherd you. Let the dying die, and the perishing perish, and let those who remain devour one another's flesh. Next I took my staff called favor and cut it in 2, revoking the covenant I had made with all the nations. It was revoked on that day, and so the afflicted of the flock who were watching me knew that it was the word of the Lord. Then I told them, if it seems right to you, give me my wages, but if not, keep them. So they weighed out my wages, 30 pieces of silver. And the Lord said to me, throw it to the potter, this magnificent price at which they valued me. So I took the 30 pieces of silver and threw them to the potter in the house of the Lord. Then I cut in 2 my second staff called union, breaking the brotherhood between Judah and Israel. And the Lord said to me, take up once more the equipment of a foolish shepherd. For behold, I will raise up a shepherd in the land who will neither care for the lost, nor seek the young, nor heal the broken, nor sustain the healthy, but he will devour the flesh of the choice sheep and tear off their hooves. Woe to the worthless shepherd, who deserts the flock. May a sword strike his arm and his right eye. May his arm be completely withered and his right eye utterly blinded. This is the burden of the word of the Lord concerning Israel. Thus declares the Lord, who stretches out the heavens and lays the foundation of the earth, who forms the spirit of man within him, behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of drunkenness to all the surrounding peoples. Judah will be besieged, as well as Jerusalem. On that day, when all the nations of the earth gather against her, I will make Jerusalem a heavy stone for all the peoples, all who would heave it away will be severely injured. On that day, declares the Lord, I will strike every horse with panic, and every rider with madness. I will keep a watchful eye on the house of Judah, but I will strike with blindness all the horses of the nations. Then the leaders of Judah will say in their hearts, the people of Jerusalem are my strength, for the Lord of hosts is their God. On that day I will make the clans of Judah like a firepot in a woodpile. Like a flaming torch among the sheaves, they will consume all the peoples around them on the right and on the left, while the people of Jerusalem remain secure there. The Lord will save the tents of Judah first, so that the glory of the house of David and of the people of Jerusalem may not be greater than that of Judah. On that day the Lord will defend the people of Jerusalem, so that the weakest among them will be like David, and the house of David will be like God, like the angel of the Lord going before them. So on that day I will set out to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. Then I will pour out on the house of David and on the people of Jerusalem a spirit of grace and prayer, and they will look on me, the one they have pierced. They will mourn for him as one mourns for an only child, and grieve bitterly for him as one grieves for a firstborn son. On that day the wailing in Jerusalem will be as great as the wailing of Hadrach in the plain of Megiddo. The land will mourn, each clan on its own, the clan of the house of David and their wives, the clan of the house of Nathan and their wives, the clan of the house of Levi and their wives, the clan of Shimei and their wives, and all the remaining clans and their wives. Revelation 20. Then I saw an angel coming down from heaven with the key to the abyss, holding in his hand a great chain. He seized the dragon, that ancient serpent who is the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. And he threw him into the abyss, shut it, and sealed it over him, so that he could not deceive the nations until the 1,000 years were complete. After that, he must be released for a brief period of time. Then I saw the thrones, and those seated on them had been given authority to judge. And I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded for their testimony of Jesus and for the word of God, and those who had not worshipped the beast or its image, and had not received its mark on their foreheads or hands. And they came to life and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. The rest of the dead did not come back to life until the 1,000 years were complete. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy are those who share in the first resurrection. The second death has no power over them, but they will be priests of God and of Christ, and will reign with him for 1,000 years. When the 1,000 years are complete, Satan will be released from his prison, and will go out to deceive the nations in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to assemble them for battle. Their number is like the sand of the seashore. And they marched across the broad expanse of the earth and surrounded the camp of the saints and the beloved city. But fire came down from heaven and consumed them. And the devil who had deceived them was thrown into the lake of fire and sulfur, into which the beast and the false prophet had already been thrown. There they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. Then I saw a great white throne and the one seated on it. Earth and heaven fled from his presence, and no place was found for them. And I saw the dead, great and small, standing before the throne. And there were open books, and one of them was the book of life. And the dead were judged according to their deeds, as recorded in the books. The sea gave up its dead, and death and Hades gave up their dead, and each one was judged according to his deeds. Then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. This is the second death, the lake of fire. And if anyone was found whose name was not written in the book of life, he was thrown into the lake of fire.